And welcome to the morning spike. I wait till the last second to hit that
Yeah, I
intro.
saw.
We're gonna talk about all the football news going on. Kind of give you guys some tips about your fantasy draft. Give you maybe even do a little mock draft real quick. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Mark. How you feeling, man?
I'm doing all right. Been a minute since I've been on here.
What you think?
Yeah, Sean Taylor. That's nice. I have a white one.
I was like, I wanted the red one. I wanted to know that this is the authentic. I was like, oh yeah. So I had to go out there and look for it.
I don't know. I always tend to get like away jerseys just because that's usually when I see them.
That makes more sense.
I think one home game I've been to in my entire life.
Oh, no, we gotta make that happen. We all gotta go to DC. That sounds like fun.
Play the Bears
Again.
every year. New rivalry.
It seems like it. Like, man.
Right?
I mean, obviously, we can't look at your old rivals. If we're gonna talk about any news, we can talk about us. Why not start with the Cowboys? So I was looking at free agents and people that have been franchise tagged and things like that, and looking for negotiations. So of course the Cowboys with Dak Prescott have not been negotiating at all.
Nope.
And the deal, if they don't have a deal before this season, he will be on a different team. I'm guaranteeing that. Dak Prescott will not be on the Cowboys.
I can see that. Because I'm sure Dak's going to take it as a slap to the face. Like, oh, can't even negotiate with me now. You got to wait till. But Jerry Jones could always come out randomly and be like, all right, here's $1 billion to stay. And then I'm sure Dak could be like, okay.
Well, he said, I'm not here to play for money, but he doesn't want to be disrespected. And I think that's what it is. I think
there's a fine line. There's a fine line you got to walk, I feel like, especially with quarterbacks. Like, I get it. Some quarterbacks, Tom Brady took how many pay cuts, especially towards the end of his career, just so he could get good players to play with him.
I can see Dak taking a 5-year, $210 million contract.
Yeah, I can see that.
And just saying, okay, then go pay Mike Parsons, go pay CD Lamb, go pay these guys, so we don't have to worry about it.
CD's cutting off negotiations with the Cowboys.
He also has, and he's basically.
But he's got a reason for it.
Yep.
He says, I'm not talking contracts until JJ signs.
signs.
Which I think is probably, as a receiver, the smartest thing you could ever do.
I don't know, but as a team, I won't say you're not Justin Jefferson, bro. That's what I'm going to tell him.
I get that, but he was the number one receiver last year.
That's true. But Justin Jefferson was hurt. So
I understand that, but I'm just saying he was the number one receiver last year.
And these contracts are getting crazy.
Any receiver who's getting paid now is just getting more money to JJ.
Yeah.
Every time someone signs a bigger contract, JJ's like, well, I'm better than that guy. Oh, I'm better than that guy.
What do we got? We got Amon-Ra St. Brown signed a $30 million average deal.
Yep.
AJ Brown signed a $32 million average deal. And what do we have this earlier? Signed today or yesterday. Waddle signed.
Oh yeah, Jake.
3-year.
Yeah, his was a little lower. Yeah, so his was a little lower, but
yeah, but that's still $28.25 million for Waddle.
But yeah, no. Well, I think they know Tyreek is probably serious about what he said, so they're like, well, if people get Waddle, we're gonna be really in trouble.
I know, but he's now the third highest paid receiver, right?
Yeah, won't last long. Terry will be up after. He'll be able to re-sign after this year, so I'm sure he'll be up there. Obviously, JJ, who even before all these contracts was slated at a minimum to get 35. So I don't know if these have really hurt the Minnesota Vikings too much in that regard. But I heard JJ was 35 to 40 million.
I think he's gonna get paid like a quarterback.
Oh, that's what I said. 40 million. I wouldn't be shocked.
So what's
that's a third-tier quarterback money right there at 40 million.
It's a morning. Anthony, I think it was a mistake to sign AJ Brown, the big money deal, but they signed both their guys.
Get Devontae Smith too.
Yeah, they signed Devontae and AJ. They say, hey, let's go. So they got their quarterback and then 2 receivers also.
Where are they getting this money?
And Saquon.
Where are they getting this money? Because Jalen Hurts over there making like 40 mil.
But the way his contract was set up,
later
those first 3 years, he wasn't going to make a lot of money, or it was going to be a huge signing bonus, but his average per year wasn't going to be a lot. So we pay everybody now.
What cap space is available? Gotcha.
Exactly. So I mean, makes sense. I understand why they're doing it.
We're not playbook the Saints. They took a playbook out of the Saints.
Kick it down the road.
They're like, "Hey, Saints, how do you do?" Oh, okay, I got you. Because I know what they did with like Taysom Hill. Like, here's 140 million, but we're gonna cut you before you see it.
I think he'll see the money.
I think he starts seeing it this year, doesn't he?
Yeah. No, next year. So he only sees half of it. I think it's only like $12 million average value this year.
But then next year is when it jumps like
it's huge, like that, right? Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, but the Cowboys, I mean, anybody else big really? Outside of Parsons and CD and Dak?
I mean, they don't have a line.
Oh yeah, that's fascinating. Well, they have Martin. That's about it, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they got some rookies that could maybe do something.
And we'll have to see. Kadani here. Good morning, guys. How you doing, Brian? Love the jersey, bro. God's safety. Yes, dude. Come on,
you're not kidding.
I mean, he probably put more fear into anybody, to everybody than anyone else. No, man.
I've still to this day, I don't think I've ever seen any. There's still safeties who come into the league today and we're like, "Oh, Sean Taylor is the reason I'm here." And I'm like, "How old were you when he played?"
I mean,
I'm
who's
here
the best
for
safety we ever saw? Is Ed Reed the best modern safety I've ever seen? And Ed Reed says Sean Taylor's better than me.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
can you imagine a team with both those guys?
He would have been first ballot Hall of Famer had he,
easy.
Not had his untimely death, unfortunately. on a week he wasn't even supposed to be there. That's what gets me.
Yeah, that's the tough thing.
Like, oh, I got hurt. Let me go home. So sad.
It's crazy how the wide receiver market is changing, which makes me wonder how Dallas keeps Dak, Lamb, Parsons to max contracts. The answer is they don't. I don't believe they signed Dak to a max contract.
Well, yeah, if they don't sign Dak, they could easily do the other two.
And I actually said this on Wednesday. What if Justin Fields has a decent year and decides to go sign with Dallas?
What was that, sir?
What if Justin Fields goes to has a decent year?
Oh yeah, no, I
and goes signs to Dallas
on Wednesday. I'll watch the show.
So I mean, it's
a possibility.
He's cheaper. You could probably sign him for $25 million a year. Keep those guys. Have a good, talented quarterback.
If you're Justin Fields, though, you're only signing like a 1 or 2 year deal at 25.
I do. What if they offer you a 3-year, $80 million contract?
You might have to take it.
You have to.
He'd still only be like 29, 28.
Exactly. He just turned 25 this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so he'd be like 29.
Yep.
So I mean, you'd still be able to ball out for those 3 years, get another huge, get a huge contract,
and get the $60 million contract, whatever you're gonna do. And it works for Dallas because they're able to kick the can down the road, sign all their stars, and still have a talented quarterback in the backfield.
Yep. I can see it.
Going to be wild. Philly is always doing crazy moves. Every year they always pick up decent players and somehow get everyone paid. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Philly. How?
It does make you wonder. So
Jalen Hurts signed a 5-year, $255 million contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the signing bonus was $179 million.
Oh Lord!
No, okay. He signed it was a $24 million signing bonus. And it's $180 million guaranteed. So those average $51 million a year. I think he's only getting, looks like 2024. He has $38 million. Oh, his base salary is $1 million.
Oh God.
His base salary is $1.1 million.
Yep, sounds about right.
and then a signing bonus of $38.8 million. So a cap hit of $13.5 million.
What the?
That's how they're paying everybody right there. Want to know how they're paying everyone? That's how they're paying everybody right now.
Oh
His salary $1.125 million. He's still getting his money.
That's too funny. So it says they might tag Diggs, but Parsons going to hurt them more than CD. Well, no, I think CD will have more money. I think.
I don't know. If I'm Micah, I'm going to ask for. I want more money than But who signed to San Francisco? Bosa. I want more money than Bosa.
I think
Bosa is like what? That's $33 million a year. I think it is something like that.
Bosa was 25.
Huh? Really?
I thought he signed like a 4-year, $200 million.
I think they said it was something like the highest non-quarterback contract ever.
Oh, maybe then. I don't know.
So 5-year, $170 million contract with 122.5 guaranteed. So yeah, his average value. So they did the same thing. They did the same thing for him. So his base salary is $1.125 million this year, with a high signing bonus. So his cap hit is $14.67 million. You know, so but it's if he cut him, it'd be $76 million that you lost. But it's only that much of a cap hit. They did the same thing.
So basically, I mean, I guess that's kind of a win-win because the team gets to keep their good players with not a big cap hit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but at least the players know. Money, but the players are getting that money up front, and they know if they get cut, they still getting paid.
Exactly. So
Bosa goes from, I can see why they would take it.
He goes from 1.125 to 1.170 to $23 million.
Yeah, that's probably when he gets cut. Okay. That's when they're like, we need to restructure.
You can see it happening.
No, that's usually
I say Micah gets $28 million a year. Let's say he signs a 5-year deal.
But here's what I'm saying though: if they come out and CD is the number one receiver again for the second year in a row, I'm telling you, CD's going to demand more than what AJ just got.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But you don't think they're going to sign him beforehand? Because J-Jeta's
it depends on when Jefferson signs, because CD already came out and said, I'm not even going to talk contract until Justin Jefferson signs.
What happens if he gets a slow start for the season?
Well, that's the price you take. That's the chance you take. Gamble, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But hey,
Cowboys already have their future in Trey Lance.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what I kind of chuckled. But he got to a slow start last year too, so yeah, you saw how it finished. So
depending on how that line blocks for Dak, and
that will be, but not just that, but are they even going to be able to run the ball?
Yeah, maybe Zeke is going to do something.
If they get to the red zone, maybe.
And then they signed Deuce. I believe he's playing receiver. He's been playing receiver this entire camp.
Vaughn?
Deuce Vaughn. He's been a slot receiver. Yeah, he's been playing slot receiver the entire camp. Slot wide receiver. And every practice.
Interesting.
Yeah. To me, Dallas can't win and can't be a low win team because their team says playoffs or is outside looking in fighting for a spot, which means if they let Dak go, how much do they give in a trade?
So it wouldn't be a trade. They would just
wouldn't be a trade. They'll just let him walk.
He's literally, this is his last year. He's under contract.
They'll let Dak walk, and there might be a quarterback out there that you could sign.
But I kind of disagree with you. I don't think Dallas is really going to be that good. They lost a lot of players in free agency and brought nobody in. They lost their defensive coordinator, who was basically the reason they were winning some games last year.
A huge point, yeah.
Where you go for it? I don't even know who the defense. Oh no, they brought in a Zimmerman, Mike Zimmer,
which is a good. That's a good bring.
It is a good bring in. It is a good bring in. I do give him that. But he runs like almost a completely different system, though. I thought Zimmer ran like a 4-3. Dan Quinn over here with a 3-4.
Well, Micah Parsons does all of it. I think it was, and they both played. I thought they both did 4-3, just a 4-3 hybrid.
I'm pretty sure Dan Quinn runs a 3-4. Lulu and Wagner are starting, and they're both middle linebackers. So,
what do you think the over under is for
the outside linebacker that rush?
What do you think the over under is for Dallas?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say maybe 8.5.
A little bit higher.
Is it 9.5?
A little bit higher.
Is it 10?
It's 10.5. The over under is 10.
I'm going under. I'm taking the under all day. I don't think they'll be 2 under that. I literally think they'll be 9-7.
I think they're going to be 9-8. That's exactly what I said.
They're 9-8. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. There's 17 games now. Yeah, I think they'll be about 9-8.
Yeah, Dan Quinn went a 4-3.
Okay.
So they're still 4-3. So they're still being the same base defense.
I wonder if Lulu moves to like outside linebacker then. But obviously Wagner's playing middle.
No, that's not a question.
Yeah, that's what I said.
As Trey Lance owner, I'm hopeful. Not monsoons in Texas. So
I know what it is. Dan Quinn runs a lot of nickel.
Yes, he does go a lot of nickel.
So that's why you have Lulu and Wagner in there, because they'll be the 2 linebackers, but he runs a lot of nickel.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Which is crazy, Lulu, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for Lulu.
Too, I don't know. Born as a Trey Lance owner, I'm hopeful. No monsoons in Texas, so hopes are high. I don't know if he still hasn't played in forever. Trey Lance has now.
He hasn't even suited up for the Cowboys, let alone played.
Like competitively, like he hasn't had a competitive snap in 4 years. No, not even then, because he only played 1 year really in college. This dude hasn't had a competitive snap for more than 3 games in like.
Oh, okay, more than 3 games.
5 years.
I was gonna say he definitely had a competitive snap before.
He had 2 games, and then he hurt himself. So I don't know.
Hey, Anthony said 9.5.
That was a good. He said 9.5. 10.5, which is stupid. To go up and get a QB if there's someone to move up next year. You want in the draft, or do you bring in a big name bridge QB if there's one next year, or you get a young QB if there's one there next year? So the QB market next year in that draft is very, very, very thin.
It is.
Like I don't love.
Yeah, I think you'll have better odds in free agency next year because you got Mac Jones, Feilds,
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson could be there. Kenny Pickett. Like those 4 guys will probably all be better than anything you'll probably get in the draft.
Yeah. No, honestly, any of those 4. And
at least
Daniel
from
Jones still there.
Next year's standpoint, I mean, Sanders has potential. He could grow into maybe an NFL quarterback.
In the right situation. Shedeur.
Ewers, is it terrible? I don't know why he went back though.
Ewers came out this year. He would have been the first round pick this year.
Brayden and I don't even know if he'll finish the season. I don't know if you saw the game.
Exactly.
Arch Manning.
Do you believe Arch Manning? He's like, do you leave Arch Manning on the damn bench when
he did that against Texas's #1 defense? Because he was on the backup squad. I was like, I don't even know if you're the starting quarterback after week 3. Ewers. Why did you go back?
He might have that save that Jalen Hurts type thing to it.
Yeah.
Like, look, dude, this dude is too good to leave on the bench. I just can't not play him.
Right.
Should have left. He should have left.
And then, I mean, obviously, to me, the best quarterback prospects get out of Georgia. But
Whoa, Eagles and Cowboys are the same. No, they are not, sir.
Yeah, no, I don't
They're
know.
not. The Eagles' offensive line is
The
better.
Eagles QB and wide receivers are signed long term.
They have
Their offensive
Saquon. Marcus
line, even
Saquon
though
is
they
not the
lost,
same as Ezekiel Elliott. That's not the same guy. It's like,
right? And even though they lost, Hall of Fame center, their offensive line is still pretty good.
yep. And then have their backup center is pretty good. So like they're ready. So, look, I know the odds are against Lance. There's a reason I don't gamble. I feel you. But if you're right, it works out great. I pray Wagner and Davis are better linebackers. I mean, is there a better linebacker than Wagner? Makes Davis a better linebacker. Oh, makes Davis a better linebacker. I don't know. Can you do the things that Bobby Wagner does?
I don't know. Even now, even like Martin says, like he keeps waiting for his production to dip, but it just doesn't.
I don't know if you can watch him. And I don't know Jim Davis. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Well, we didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so
yeah. But you know what? I mean, as a strong side linebacker with Bobby Wagner as your middle linebacker,
well,
you should be okay.
Even beyond what he can do on the field, like his leadership is going to help tremendously.
I think Jeremy Chin at strong safety with that.
Jeremy Chin up at strong. I'm like,
this defense is
going to be lost Cameron Curl, but then I was like, oh wait, I forgot we brought in Jeremy Chin. I guess it's not the end of the world.
Jeremy Chin is not great at covering. That's one thing. He's not as great for covering. But if you get pressure, if Dante Fowler returns to form, and if Payne and Jonathan Allen do something, you should be okay. Your linebackers are two of your linebackers are really good, Lubu and Wagner. I don't know. I still think you need help in the backfield and the defensive backfield, but besides that,
it's crazy because we have almost $70 million in cap space. We could just bring in Gilmore and Savin Howard, but
yeah, you're not wrong. But you want to see it. That's why you want to see it.
But I mean, I know we have these young guys. We got Martin. We got Forbes.
Yeah, Forbes.
Yeah, I know. Maybe with Dan Quinn, he can turn. He turned Bland into no name into the best corner in football. So
that is true.
So maybe Quinn could do something. I don't know. Well, that's why I was going to say, like, where was it? He said this one they might tag Diggs, but I was like, they might not because they might just go with Bland. They might just let Diggs go.
Is that crazy? Yeah, let him go. Let him go to Buffalo.
It is.
Well, go to Houston now.
No, Houston. Yeah. Oh God, that'd be nuts.
No, I don't know if you can play in Houston. They got too many guys,
right? But I'm just saying, like, he's coming off an injury. We don't know if he doesn't play particularly well this year. He could be going. But that's just the nature of the NFL. I mean, look, the freaking Dolphins cut Xavier Howard, and that dude was considered the best corner for like 3 years in a row.
Yeah, but they look at
they bring in Jalen Ramsey, and they're like,
we'll be okay.
We'll be okay. We gotta make some. We gotta pay Tua some money, so you're our first casualty. Goodbye, Xavier Howard. You're like, what is happening?
How much do you think Tua makes? How much did he get?
I would say he probably gets close to the 50.
I mean, statistically, just straight stats.
He was
the top quarterback in the league.
Mm-hmm. I think if he does it again this year, he'll be up there for sure.
I think they get a deal done this summer, though.
No, I think so.
Yeah, try to give him.
Well, I think they already. Oh, bye, Brian. Hopefully, he comes back. But I think they'll get a deal done this summer. I think they know what they got in them. No, I mean, I think the over and under are the same. Yeah, he's saying the over under is the same.
Yeah, so they're both 10.5, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy because I would put the Cowboys. I would see for me a solid bet would be like 8.5 because then I'd be like, I think they'll be 9-8. But I mean, if they go to 7, wouldn't shock me. But if they do get to 10, wouldn't shock me. But I don't. Their ceiling to me is like 10 wins.
That's why I thought the over under would be
10.5. I was like, there's no way I would do the over on that. There's just no way.
I think the over under. If I was Vegas, I would go 9.5 from Dallas.
Right? I agree.
Yeah, that's what. Just doesn't make sense.
53 mil. Yep. That's it. That's what I said. Low 50s.
Yeah.
Well, $1 million incentive if he doesn't get kicked.
You can just throw that out there. Get that.
Oh, Jesus. That's awful.
Yeah, you just can't pay with here's the thing. You can't pay two of
I just said Ryan Tannehill. I mean, I'm all for Ryan Tannehill going to Dallas.
Dude, Ryan Tannehill couldn't play in Tennessee. He's a receiver. He shouldn't have been a quarterback anyway, man. Whatever, dude.
I mean, I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong. But
I mean,
it would be hilarious.
Like every team in the NFC East will be happy with that.
I think he's from Texas, though.
I don't know.
Went to A&M.
That would suck. It really would.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, as a CD owner, I don't like it, but yeah, he's definitely going to get one of those contracts.
He's going to be a base salary of $1.25 million.
Right.
And every stat you hit gets you another $10 million.
Right.
And you play every game without with the helmet on, then we'll let it happen. You know, every game has to be with that helmet on. That's all we're gonna ask for.
Right. That's fine.
All right. I think. Any other news you want to talk about?
Well, we kind of brought him up a little bit, but I want to get more into detail.
Okay.
So I want to talk about Justin Jefferson. Like, what do you literally think? Like, where do you think does he sign this year? Does he wait till next year? How much do you think he signs for?
I think in July we're going to hit right around the right around the 15th. We're going to see Justin Jefferson sign like a 5-year, $205 million contract. You know, right when everyone's signing their tags and everything, they're going to give a 5-year, $205 million contract.
Yeah, it seems a little low. I don't know. I think.
Well, you think he's going to get more than that?
I think he is. He is not held back. That he's not here. He's like, I'm not here to help teams. He's like, I'm here to get my money. Like, he's made it known. Like, he will be, outside of quarterback, the highest player ever.
But if he signs a 5-year, $205 million contract, that's that's $41 million a year.
I agree. But I think it'll be closer to 45.
Wow.
I think it'll be 4 years. Well, you said 4 years, 205? No, you said 5 years, 205.
5 years, 205, yeah.
About 4 years, 180.
Okay. 4 years, 180 million. Wow, that's still so freaking much. $45 million.
But the Vikings are in a place where I think they could do it. They got 5 years of JJ as their QB, and then by the time Justin Jefferson comes up, he'll still have 1 year, or he'll be when JJ's contract or just McCarthy's contract comes up. Because I should just say JJ because they're both called JJ. But and then they can be like, well, we'll go with McCarthy if he is as good. It's crazy to think that in 4 years from now, McCarthy's only going to be 25. That's nuts.
I mean, that's what happens when you get these young quarterbacks. I mean, who was what? I think he was ranked 3rd coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was a solid 4-star quarterback. I mean, what's the Vikings cap space?
I think this year it's kind of low, but I think they have a lot of dead cap for some of the players they lost and got cut. But I think next year it starts to look better.
So they have $17 million available right now. So 17 million this year and 159 million next year.
Yep. See, that's what I'm saying. So they could give JJ 45 and still have 115 or 110.
And that's if the cap. That's without the cap going up. If the cap goes up, you might have more.
Yep, exactly. And they already got a top tier edge rusher that's going to be there for 5 years. They got. I mean, so who secondary might need some work, but like I said, they have a little wiggle room.
$22 million cap hit next year too, and he will probably be released. So they probably have more money than that.
Telling you, JJ gonna get paid.
He gonna want all the money.
He probably be like, "Hey, you got 180 next year. I want 80 of them." I think the Vikings will be like, "All right, good luck free agency, man."
Do you think the Bears are going to sign anyone for the defensive line? I can answer that. I think Yannick is on speed dial. I believe late July, early August, Yannick Ngakoue will be signed for the Bears. They're mutually both looking at it. They're both interested in it. I think after you go through camp and into August, they're going to sign him. Because before the ankle injury, he wasn't like the superstar defensive end, but he was serviceable. So as him being there as a rotation piece, I think that works. And I think that they do sign him to another maybe give him a little $9.5 million contract. 1 year. I think it works for both teams, but it works for him because it's a prove-it contract for him. And he's on a team that he already knows defense. So you can do all those things. And he can just rotate with DeMarcus Walker all the time. And you do that while Austin Booker, while you're trying to find out what Austin Booker really is. So it just makes sense to do that way.
I mean, that'd be nuts for him to be on the same team 2 years in a row.
I mean, each one 1 year contract.
I know, but I'm saying he had 2 seasons in a row where he played for 2 teams in 1 season. Now he's going to be possibly on the same team for 2 years in a row. That's nuts.
Yeah, because I mean, the word was that he was fine in the locker room. There weren't any really big problems in the locker room. So with him doing that, with Montez Sweat already being on the line, with the Javon Dexter killing it already in his OTAs, they're expecting a really big year out of him. I said, yeah, you sign Yannick Ngakoue to a $9.5 million contract.
Piece.
Exactly. So now we need to put pressure on them. You put pressure. We want to play a straight defense. You let DeMarcus Walker be in there, and you just rotate them.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's the best move.
Fresh. Lamar.
Yep. So what up, guys? You guys talk about Lamar losing out on a $750,000 for missing OTAs. That's so much money. To who?
Yeah, for us. Yeah, I was gonna say for us, that's a lot of money. For him,
he's in the second year of a $250 million contract. $750,000 is nothing to him. He missed the first day, right? Came to the next 2 days, and then missed the last 3. All right, and then Harbaugh was asked, do you expect to see him tomorrow? And he just kind of said, we'll see. This is optional team activity.
Mm-hmm. Which you don't know. 2 years won't even be around anymore. So,
and then
I don't know if you heard that the NFLPA is trying to get these kids
get them out the way and say forget it. And what they're going to ask is for a longer mini camp, one or 2 day longer mini camps, and go from there. But no, I honestly I don't think Lamar cares at all, and I think Harbaugh knows what's going on. And it's kind of even in his comments, he said, some players I do know, some players I don't. I won't keep it real general. What's going on? We'll see tomorrow. We'll see the next day. but they're not going to say anything because it doesn't matter. Josh Johnson's out there taking first team reps.
Right.
I don't think it really matters. So Lamar doesn't care about anything.
Don't they go somewhere else? Josh Johnson, man, that guy's everywhere.
I was
also nowhere.
Exactly. Same time.
I know Madden people love Josh Johnson cards because he can go to any team affinity.
It's weird seeing another player, not Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
It's weird. Yeah. Josh Johnson's been taking on first team reps. Derrick Henry's there, but he's not catching the ball out of the backfield. So you got Zay Flowers, Bateman, Aguilar, and you got Andrews and Likely, but you don't need him there for OTAs right now. So I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like OTAs are kind of outdated a little bit.
I think it matters more for rookies.
No, and that's what I was gonna say too. I was like, I think maybe you extend the rookie camp a little bit, and then like maybe add a day or two to actual training camp and just get rid of it.
Yeah,
because most of the veterans don't even go to them anyway.
Well, here's the thing about Baltimore: every starter was there except for Lamar.
Oh,
every single starter, and he talked about it like 2 days ago when he was saying, he's still the sting of that loss still really hurts him. And is motivated him to say no other place. But in that same breath, he doesn't need to be there. Like,
right.
I don't think the practice today, the OTA today, because it's not real practice, OTA today is going to affect what's going on in the playoffs or in the season.
Right. Plus, it's not like there's a new offensive coordinator or new head coach or anything. No, everybody who was there last year is there this year.
Exactly.
Except for Derrick Henry. But like you said, he's not catching the ball out of the backfield, so it's not like him and Lamar need extra work to get on the same page.
Lamar will be there. I think the OTA start like June. Not OTAs. Minicamp starts June 11th.
Right.
I believe he'll be there before then. He might be there starting Monday. Monday too. He might end up. He might just need the rest of this week off. Took 3 days off. So I think it'll be okay. Because as I said, he didn't miss all OTAs.
For us normal peasants.
Exactly. If I lost $750,000
cash, he didn't want to wake up. That's nuts.
Well, it's not that he might have something planned.
Right.
Just the last 3 days that he didn't make it. So he might have something planned and they might know. All right. So how has Jayden Daniels been looking so far?
That's a great question. I know he's impressing people.
So I just heard that he's very accurate. That's the only thing I've heard, that his feet, they were worried about his drop back, and it's not a problem at all.
Oh, and there's also this too with not showing up. Don't want to get hurt. I mean, Martin already lost a linebacker for the season, so.
Well, they are doing
Baltimore. Oh, it was this one. But no, I know he's been impressing people. Like, he's like one of the first people to the building, one of the last people to leave. He's been picking Marcus Mariota, the coaches. McLaurin's already been like head over heels. Like, we might actually have a quarterback here. For him to say that,
the coach just said that he's been making a lot of big plays, right? But the coach has been saying like he's been calling them at midnight, asking about details of plays and stuff.
That's awesome.
I hear the same thing about Caleb Williams, which as
like,
I said,
you want to be angry, like, bro, why are you calling me at midnight? But also, you're like, hey,
at least you were paying attention. You asked, why is the block scheme going this way? Why are we doing this?
Right,
like, bro.
So I mean, I like it, but the coach has got to be like, are you for real right now, buddy? Get some sleep. Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited for Jayden Daniels. I might have to wait though, like maybe 2 years, because usually freaking RG3 waited, and then after his first year, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get his jersey, and then that backfired on me horrendously. A year later, I was like, wish I didn't buy this jersey.
Here's my question to you: with Jayden Daniels being your starting quarterback, really, that's really what's going to be. Do you go to someone like Cincinnati and offer a 2nd and 3rd round pick to go get T. Higgins?
Initially, I would say no, but that kind of intrigues me just because if you add T. Higgins to
a
McLaurin,
different type of receiver.
That's what I'm saying. Because they're all 5'11" and kind of do the same things. I mean, they do it well, but like you add a T. Higgins where you have a play where Jayden Daniels like, well, buddy, I'm just gonna throw it up to you. You're 6'5", you should be able to catch it.
Exactly. And so you put a guy, a young guy with him. It's basically the DJ Moore.
We have the money to where we could sign.
Exactly. You could sign him. You could trade for him now. You could sign him to extend him and have no problems. And now, especially
we have 100 million, and McLaurin's already making like 25. So to extend him, you just have to give him another 7.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, this is your chance to really step into the big games, to the big league. And I think T. Higgins going to the Commanders makes all the sense in the world, especially with a rookie quarterback that's not going to ask for money for the next 5 years.
I agree. He said, "Mark, my RG3 jersey is so fresh in my basement."
Is it still in the package? Is it still in the package? It's still in the plastic. You haven't taken it out of the plastic yet. Got the paper behind it.
I think as this goes on longer and longer, the Bengals will lose bargaining chips.
Yeah, honestly, I think
the more and more it goes, the more and more T. Higgins basically gets disgruntled. The more and more the other teams know, hey, you have to unload them. So,
or you're just gonna let him walk. So I'll give you a second and third round pick now, or he walks.
Just for
I would do a second and a second.
Yeah, I think if you do a second, it'll be just a second. I could do that.
For a second, and I wouldn't even blink.
The Jersey curse, man. I did it with.
You did with Kevin White. Oh. So here's the thing about Kevin White. I knew that he couldn't run the route tree, right? So I was like, why are we drafting this guy so high? He can't run nothing but seams. That's all he can do. 9s and seams. Like, so what are we doing? And then guess what? He's never done it.
1-800.
No, hey, look. His phone is disconnected. We did not pay it. You're gonna get it. Like, doo-doo-doo. This phone has disconnected non-payment.
So he said about where Minnesota's at. Do you think they would try to just get value and assets? But see, the Steelers, I don't know. Because if you're going to trade for J.J., you're looking at probably 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And I don't know if the Steelers are going to be willing to do that for a receiver.
That doesn't seem like a Mike Tomlin thing.
Right. I agree.
If a team is going to do that, it's going to be a stupid team. It's like New Orleans.
Right. We need Michael Thomas back. Someone like Michael Thomas.
Like I mean, honestly, I can't think of another team that would do that. The trade for J-Jeta, I don't know.
Cowboys?
You say that, but they got CD.
Do they though?
Yeah, if they pay him.
What if they're like,
if you pay CD,
CD for JJ, but then have to throw extra in there?
Exactly, they'll have to throw a lot more. I don't know. I think T. Higgins is a much better option than just because you could just sign them and not worry about it. Set it and forget it.
Steelers have been really good at finding good receivers in the past anyway. Yeah, exactly. They'll just go draft someone in the 3rd round and turn them into a super.
And it only makes sense for them.
But then towards the end of their rookie year, they'll go a little crazy and they'll let him go. And then you'll be like, how did they deal with this guy for so long?
Oh, man. Antonio Brown is something else. He just filed bankruptcy.
Did he? I don't know. I still think one of my favorite memes of all time, though, is Mike Tomlin deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He dealt with Antonio Brown for 5 years, and we never heard anything. And then he leaves them, and all of a sudden you're like, this dude is crazy.
It's so true. Oh my god.
So my theory is Vontez perfect broke him.
He just hit him so hard. That
you ever see that hit?
Yeah, I remember.
The playoff game? Legit just took the dude out.
It was so funny because it wasn't even like he like really rammed him to him. This was like, and knocked him senseless.
No, he was out. I felt like ever since that hit, Antonio Brown went.
No, but everyone says he was that crazy anyway. I mean, look at Chase Claypool. He had problems, but
Juju.
Yep, you didn't hear any of those problems while they're in Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
You heard one from Chase Claypool. He was like, "I think we should be able to play music during practice."
Oh yeah.
And Mike Tomlin played them and said that no, I'm going to say I should continue to be the coach, and he should still continue to be the player. And I think that separation of duties should just stay there. So Mike Tomlin's so cold.
It might be nutcases sometimes, but they got talent.
Whoa, wait, he says Anthony says Pittsburgh might have a below 500 record.
I saw that, yeah. Lucas said, "Oh Christ, perfect hit him so hard he knocked his entire team to the next round of the playoffs." Dang. Oh yeah, because that was a penalty which allowed them to hit the field goal to win.
Exactly. Exactly what happened.
Sure did. Yep. Steelers make a move, it'll only be with Broncos or 49ers. Or Bears.
No, we don't call them anymore. No, we don't answer that phone. We don't answer anything coming from that zip code or area code. No, nothing. We're done. No. No, but so I want to go back to this idea.
That hit was gnarly. A jaw drop
might be below 500 record. I have a very hard time believing that. I think they've done a masterful job. They can teach a master class in what they've done. I don't know if you guys really looked at, they fixed their line. They did everything that you wanted in this offseason. They did everything you would want to do. They fixed the QB room. They kept Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris. They had, Japan Jefferson is not a great thing, but, you have something there. Your line is like Fatanu, McCormick, Frazier, James Daniels, and Broderick Jones. There's literally 4 guys on that line that could be Pro Bowl type of guys.
And here's why I don't agree with it. I'm telling you right now, that defense is going to be legit.
I didn't even get to the fact that they signed Patrick Queen.
Yeah, we're talking like top 5 or higher defense next year. I mean, barring injuries, obviously, but
Minkah Fitzpatrick, Porter, Patrick Queen, Highsmith, TJ Watt.
TJ Watt's going to have a crazy year because he feels snubbed again for not getting Defensive Player of the Year.
Literally, that defense is off the damn chain. So
we all know TJ deserved Defensive Player of the Year. Didn't get it again.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's going to come out on fire.
I would give it to somebody else, but it's okay. He deserved to be in the top 3. Because I'm afraid of one man and one man only. It's not TJ Watt.
Curtain reincarnated.
That defense is so good. It really is. And it's crazy because as good as they are, I'm not sure that they're the best defense in the division. The Browns defense might be better.
It's close, yeah. Well, that's why I said top 5.
Man, I don't know. That division is just I don't want to deal with it. I wouldn't want to deal with that division at all.
Do you think the Browns and Steelers can finish 1-2 in defense?
Yes.
And be very, very close? I think so.
I 100% believe so. I can see that easily.
Yeah, me too.
Especially with who's the coach that's there now for the Cleveland Browns? The old Detroit coach, Lions coach.
Oh, Schwartz.
Yeah, Schwartz. So Schwartz defense was Darius and Myles Garrett and Shelby Harris and
he made it work last year.
I think they're just going to continue to just destroy teams. Teams are literally not going to score.
Gym shorts.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Who knew that was gonna work so well? But I even like their offense. I think between Chubb and Ford there and Deontay Foreman is a good backup just in case that doesn't work. Works for a running back room. Judy and Cooper and Elijah Moore work. Njoku works. Like their line was already good. That division.
Now their line can stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the question. That's the question.
Issue, I think last year.
But even you got DeJuan Jones as your backup because exactly, DeJuan Jones can step right in.
Jameis Winston, how many games does he play?
The fact that Tyler Huntley's the second is the third string one.
Oh, that's where Tyler Huntley went.
Yes, Tyler Huntley is also there too.
Baltimore. You get rid of me, I'll go to the Browns. That's funny.
So I mean, it's insane. When we look at all these things. I think that could be the first division. The AFC North could be the first division when everyone has over 10 wins. And the Cincinnati Bengals might be the only team that doesn't do it, and people are picking them to win the division.
Well, the only reason they didn't do it last year is because of injury.
Yeah, that's true. If all 4 teams would have did 10 wins, it's the same. They almost have 4 10-win teams in that division. I know. They're just so good. Like, I don't know. I don't want to deal with that division.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah,
I think
they should.
I feel like
that hurts the Ravens. It stops it again.
You know, everyone keeps saying that, but then he was still like the number 2 running back last year. So
he's been in like the number 1 or 2 for the last 8 years.
And the only reason he wasn't number 1 is because McCaffrey. So.
Yeah, exactly. For the last 8 years, he's been number 1 or 2. All right, people saying Justin Fields on the goal line is going to be scary. No, so I want to talk about this. What happened is Russell Wilson said, "Hey man, he's dynamic. Put him on the goal line. He might be scary." To say I'm better quarterback, you can put Justin Fields in later, but I'm the better quarterback. I think if I was Justin Fields, I'll take offense to that and say I'm not going to try to beat you straight out. I 100% think that it's Russell Wilson just trying to plant that seed. I'm the better quarterback. But he's good in the red zone. We can use him. He could be a slash weapon with me still on the field. That's what I think is going on.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on the Bears getting to do or having to do if you're George Spikaski, Hard Knocks? So the Bears getting Hard Knocks is really interesting. And I heard about this about 3 weeks ago. That it was most likely going to be the Bears. That the NFL kind of told the Bears during the draft that they were going to end up being or Hard Knocks. So heard about it, thought about it, knew it probably was going to be a possibility. And the reason you can, as a team, you can still deny the NFL the Hard Knock stuff. But the reason they're going to go with it is because they're trying to get this deal done for the stadium. So now if you get stadium people looking at it and think about the Bears and being on their side, you also get free agents looking at you saying this might be a really cool place to play. If people like Caleb Williams, that may offensive players want to play there. You have a defense that looks like a monster defense, a top 10 defense too. Could be a top 5 defense. All those factors really helps out this whole Hard Knocks. And I think it'd be really interesting. I'm going to watch in August. And I haven't watched Hard Knocks in 3-4 years because I thought it was getting boring. But this is a team that no one gets the inside track on.
I watched the first 3 episodes of The Lions.
That was it?
Yeah, I didn't watch the 4th one.
I mean, maybe they could convince me. No, I can't do it. I'm still Justin Fields guy.
Gotta convince the Bears fans to fall in love with Caleb.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'll have to buy a subscription to HBO.
Dude, I'm gonna get the Max. Yeah, I'm gonna have my Max subscription, and watch it, and hopefully it's good.
I would like Pittsburgh getting Hard Knocks.
So I would love that because Hard Knocks during the season is going to be a full division.
Oh, be
right?
the North, yeah, be the North.
No, so AFC North would be just perfect. Oh my God! I mean, come on. What would you want to see more than that? Every team being that good.
That would be pretty intense.
I would love that. That makes so much sense.
It's crazy. The division's going to be so good, but then they don't even play each other until the end of the season.
Why is that happening in all these places now? I don't understand why they're doing that this year.
I mean, we did it a couple years ago where our 5 of our last 6 games were all division rivals. Like, we randomly played the Giants in like week 2 and then didn't play another division game until like Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Like, I get the whole last game of the season because you're trying to get those matchups where like all divisions on the line kind of gives you that playoff-esque atmosphere for the last week. Like, I understand that. But like, spread them out a little bit. Like, why are we no, especially when your division is that much of a gauntlet. Like, the Steelers literally, their last 8 games are every one of their division opponents twice, the Chiefs and the Eagles.
What? That's awful.
Yeah, that's why everyone seems to think they're going to be under 500 this year. Is because if you're not near 500 by the time that happens, you could be in trouble.
I don't know. I just say Mike Tomlin's the best coach in the NFL. And no matter what, I somehow believe he'll figure out a way. And both those quarterbacks, if you want to be truthful, if you want to look at stats last year, if you're a stats guy, Russell Wilson had a better year than Patrick Mahomes. If you're a stats guy. All right? If you're just a believer in your eyes, Justin Fields is one of the most amazing play makers ever. Like I've ever seen at the quarterback position. And you got both of those guys on your team. If you can figure out a coach that can figure out how to use them the right way, I think they have a chance to beat a lot of different teams.
Yeah. Gotta make sure that crappy field the Bears have to play on is supplemented with crappy cold weather for the divisional games. That's pretty funny.
Dude, Soldier Field is awful.
Would you rather have early bye, later bye week? I hate having an early bye week.
No, late bye week sucks too because their team's bodies is
not like super late. I like week 10, like kind of the middle.
Yeah, give me week 9.
Kind of ideal to me.
Yeah, week 9 and week 10 is good. But would you rather have week 5 or week 13?
I'd probably say 13. Nice little refresher. I understand that, but then you get a nice breather right before crucial games at the end of the season.
If you make it there.
Yeah, no, that's true. But just saying. I mean, for the Commanders, I don't think it matters either way. So, what is my bye week? We usually have a late one. Like last year, we were 14.
Hanzo, what's up, man? How you doing? Let me know if you got another stream. I'm ready to jump on. Ready. Washington needs a hard knock.
We need a new stadium bad. Well, hey, now that we have a new owner, at least
you can afford it.
The state governments are in DC is like talking to us now. I don't know if you heard, but they cut off all negotiations with Daniel Snyder.
Because he sucks. They're like, man, we're not doing nothing for you. Get you. I hate you and your team now.
Hope we can get back to DC though. I feel like that's where they belong. It's weird that they play in Landover, Maryland.
Just got to find a place. DC's just so crowded.
There is a
place. The land cost is ridiculous.
There's a huge giant stadium that's just collecting dust, and a whole district around it that has nothing. That you could just bulldoze and bring everything new.
If you can afford it, yeah.
So, I mean, there's spots. Well, that's just the problem. The biggest issue right now, though, is I haven't heard too much about Maryland, but I know both Virginia and DC is being very stingy about wanting to use tax dollars.
Because it makes sense, especially with where they are. And being
I
election
get it,
year.
but at the same time,
election year.
Well, that is the issue right now. It's election year, but then
That's why
you're
you're
going to
not
run the risk of them going somewhere else where they want a team, and they'll be like, "We'll fund 3/4 of your stadium if you want to come here."
Yeah, no one's doing that.
And then they're like, "All right, bye."
Yeah, no one's doing that. They're not leaving Washington. The later bye week is probably the best, but the Bears usually are terrible the game after. So I don't know. You're not wrong, Lucas, man. I don't know what it is about that. But we also start the season so bad. So who knows? The tax dollars should not contribute at all to these stadiums being built. All right, so I was listening to Crane Kenny. He's the financial guy for the Chicago Cubs, and he said most deals, if you really look at them, the team around them contributes about half. I mean, the city around it contributes about half, 50%, and then the team has to come up with the other 50%. So you're gonna get some tax dollars usually, but when you're doing a $5 billion stadium, asking the anyone to come up with $2.5 billion,
Right?
It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
It is.
So,
but I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like the team should pay. I think it should be more like 3/4, 1/4.
Yeah,
3/4 to the team.
Yeah,
because
75.
you can't overstate the financial viability that the teams bring to these cities.
Mm-hmm.
Like they bring in money. People travel to the cities to watch those teams. People go downtown and eat and do stuff like that. Like it brings in money.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
the
like it
problem
doesn't seem
is
fair completely.
don't.
Now I get it; they should pay most of it. Like I understand that,
But they just
especially when
never
they want
pay
these
back the loan.
extraordinary.
They never pay back. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like those Chicago White Sox. We were at the game together. The Chicago White Sox still have 20 years on their contract and on their deal, and they want a new stadium. But you still owe the 20 years on the deal,
Right?
and they just want to push that into the next deal. So that hurts, the viability for the city.
Yeah.
So in the Bears case, I think it's needed because they do bring a lot of money. It's only so many games a year and blah blah blah. But there's some teams where it doesn't make sense for the city to put up that much money, have taxes go up, and then 10 years later you're like, I want another stadium. Screw you.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, then you look at things like the whole Oakland situation where both the Raiders and the Athletics are trying to get stadiums. And Oakland's like, we ain't giving you a dime. And now look, both teams left.
And they need to leave because those stadiums had rats.
That stadium, I've been to that. That stadium was a horror. There were times going down steps where like it would go whoop. Like I thought I was gonna fall through.
Oh,
I'm like, this is scary. Like I don't feel comfortable at all right
now. The rats have knives and they're gonna rob you in the corner.
Right? Like that stadium was awful. And then they lost the Warriors because they went to the freaking docks in San Francisco.
And why would you not? Why would you not just go to San Francisco, just go across the river?
Right.
It's way more money
I'm
there.
just saying, like, I feel like that's what teams use sometimes to get this funding where they're like, well, we'll leave. There's other people who probably want us.
Yeah, but some places, like, if you want to go, like, Chicago White Sox and they're saying, hey, we're going to go to Tennessee. And everyone else in Chicago's like, go to Tennessee, bro. You're leaving Chicago.
Right?
No one cares. Our stadium is in Landover and our practice fields are in Virginia. So where is the DC at?
That's what I'm saying. We need to get back to DC. Like, I really wish I could have gone to RFK because I heard that was one of the best stadiums to go watch football game in. Like, literally, things would happen and everything. Which, I mean, I don't know if that's safe, but
I was like, that sounds awful.
it's raucous. Never got to RFK, though.
That's like being in Seattle.
I'm trying to figure out, did Dan Snyder just cut all the corners in the world when he made FedEx Field? Because good
Obviously.
Lord, man.
If you want a souvenir, you can just go and knock off a brick, walk away with it.
Right.
City always ends up losing into those deals. That's kind of what I was talking about. Yeah, but I think you still have to give something because you are providing a service and you are giving opportunities for the other businesses around to make money because of your events.
So. Yeah, I agree. Plus, it's not only just the football games too. It brings in concerts. It brings in, like, I know one of the big things on the Bears' selling point was getting the Super Bowl, getting big sporting events.
Just not being cold every time I go to a damn Bears game.
WrestleMania, big events like that. Yeah, just not being freezing. But see, to me, that'd be weird because, like, I feel like if you go to a Chicago Bears game in December, you should be cold.
Yeah, I'll be cold with the air conditioning. That'll be all right.
But I mean, I guess the Vikings got over that. So
exactly.
They used to play outdoors.
Same thing with Detroit.
Yeah,
Detroit plays indoors.
Yep.
You built the stadium with the same stuff they use at IKEA. Oh, that works.
That's funny. Yeah, see, there you go. Look.
Oh, you got that. WrestleMania, Super Bowl, NCAA basketball tournaments. Yeah.
Hockey. Yep. Oh, yeah. You do the stadium series of hockey.
That's what they're doing in Wrigley. Football games, hockey thing, everything is going to Wrigley. They're able to do those things. So I will question how much it's been for cities of this. So football games are events. And I think every game that you have, the entire city does get a lot more money for just food or people trying to visit or the hotels.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're bringing in, 80,000, 70,000 people who are paying tax on their tickets. They're paying tax on hotels, tax on food. Like, all that money goes back into the city.
The only thing I don't agree with, they always say, well, we're bringing jobs. You're not really bringing jobs. You're bringing money. You're bringing money.
Yeah, I don't know about jobs either.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could think about it like, because the hotels need to be staffed and the jobs at the stadium and then the parking and all that. Like, yeah, I guess technically. But if you already have a stadium there, most of that stuff's already intact.
Yeah, it's like, I don't see.
You're not bringing in any new jobs. And most of that infrastructure would be there whether your stadium was there or not.
Exactly. So I'd rather see our local government, especially in Chicago, investing in things that are more directly help the public. They do that too, though. But I think the problem with Chicago is very corrupt. You go to other cities, you're not going to have the same corruption in the politics. We are the worst, most corrupt places. Have you seen that stadium now? It's bad. Just tear it down.
Yeah. He said, hey, don't be hating on IKEA. I work really hard to put that stuff together.
But you don't have 80,000 people using it, right?
Are you talking about RFK, Anthony? Oh, yeah, it's terrible now. I mean,
but you can rebuild it at the same spot. You're not looking for a new spot.
Still play their soccer games there?
Really?
It's possible, yeah. Well, I remember looking up a couple years back, like trying to figure out if they still did anything there, and I think that came up. So I was like, I might have to just go to a DC United game to check out RFK.
Walking around, hopefully you don't
get hit
with
There's a whole area, and then there's a bunch of land around it where, like, you could literally just like tear down RFK, rebuild the stadium, and then build a whole like district basically with restaurants and.
That's why
I mean, there's even enough room because I know the Mystics, Capitals, and Wizards are looking for a new arena too. and they're getting shot down wherever they go. You could even build another arena or two around it and make like this huge sports complex.
Yeah, that makes sense, but usually the parking is what's going to hurt for that. But if you went to Wrigley, you'll see how like the Ricketts came, they bought the stadium, they built the stadium back up, right? Then they bought all the stuff around the stadium. Mm-hmm. Now they have hotels, they own all the food places, they own all the buildings.
They're building giant billboards and blocking roof access to watch Cubs games, man.
I'm okay with it because my Cobras is right there, so it's okay.
That's funny. Yeah, I gotta check out Cubs Stadium next.
No, it's pretty awesome. Being around Wrigleyville, if you like to drink and eat and party, yeah, that's where you gotta go.
Oh, that sounds fun. I need to get there.
It's all night.
North Sword? All right.
So it's a rumor that Washington wants to host the draft in 2027. I don't think you get it.
Where are we hosting it? Somewhere downtown DC, I hope. The mall?
Yeah, that's it.
Not going to Orlando. That sounds awful. You might get poop water dumped on you.
Oops, Mark likes all those things. So yes, rebuild it. We will be safe 3 blocks down as a small army base. I bet you, the city, I bet you the government owns that land now. That's probably what it is.
I think it does. And I think that's one of the, but I think now that, like I said, Harris Group owns it, they're actually negotiating with us now. Whereas before they were like, no, go away. We don't like you.
You're a terrible person. We're better off without you.
Right. All right.
All right, guys. We've hit our hour 15 minutes. I gotta go run and do some things. I have my god sister's graduation from med school, so we have another get together party. So I gotta make sure I get to that. And I also got one of my really good friends has a wedding shower, so I'm gonna stop by the wedding shower and then head to my god sister's thing and then go from there. So I gotta go.
Wearing Sean Taylor all day.
This is what we doing. But we will be back here on Tuesday talking about the Bears. I got a few things, especially with OTAs, and we got mini camp right around the corner. I can't wait to talk about that. And then on Wednesday we'll be there with Dynasty Pylon. We'll probably do a couple of mock drafts. I wanted to get to one today, but we'll just do it on Wednesday. So we'll have a lot of fun. We'll talk about a lot of these drafts and prepare you guys for your draft picks. June is a party every week. Kids. Yeah. Hey, my birthday is June 14th. So like I'm having a party then too. So this is what we're doing. Very cool, guys. But appreciate everyone in the comments, everyone watching today. You guys are great. Thanks, Mark. I'm Brian. We're out of here. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. Later, guys. Have a good one.